What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Weekly GCap, the only source you'll ever need to catch up on all the gaming news from the last week. And as always, if there's only a few stories that you're interested in, feel free to use the chapters down in the description or just kind of scroll through there in the time bar and they should show up there. First things first, let's go ahead and go over all the major game releases in the last week. It's been a bit of a quieter week, but we had a few releases here. So on Valentine's Day, aka February 14th, we have The Legend of Heroes Trails Through Daybreak 2, as well as Tomb Raider 4, 5, and 6 Remastered. On February 12th, we had Warriors Abyss, which was a shadow drop from the State of Play event, which we'll be recapping later in the show. And then February 11th, we had Civilization 7. Next up, F1 Manager 2024 and Apex Legends Loba Free Unlock Bundle are free on Epic Games until February 20th at 11 AM EST, so you might as well go redeem it because there's no better price than free. Next up, I got the February PlayStation Plus Extra and Premium games for you guys. Now, it is a little confusing because they announced some during the State of Play, but some of the ones announced during the State of Play aren't actually going to be included with this lineup. So right now, we're just going to cover the games that will actually be coming out February 18th. So in the extra tier, we have Star Wars Jedi Survivor, as well as Top Spin 2K25, Lost Records Bloom and Rage, this being Tape 1. This is a day 1 release for the service, and Tape 2, which will be coming out at a later point, will also be releasing day 1 into the service. And then Saga Frontier Remastered, Somerville, Tin Hearts, and finally Mord Hall. And then moving to the premium tier, we have Patapon 3, as well as Dropship United Peace Force. Again, I know there was other games announced to be coming to the service, but they're not coming with this February 18th drop, so I'll let you guys know when those are finally added. Next up, Wario Land 4 was added to Nintendo Switch Online. They put up a trailer in the description reads, quote, Wario Land 4 is coming to Nintendo Switch Online plus expansion pack on February 14th, aka Valentine's Day. Loot Looty Wario has discovered his biggest score yet. It's a fabulous golden pyramid filled with riches. Trouble is, its denizens don't want to give up the treasure easily, but that hasn't stopped Wario before. In Wario Land 4, the greedy hero finds himself no longer invincible, as in his previous platform adventures. He can, however, undergo amazing transformations that aid him in his quest, like becoming Vampire Bat Wario, Bounty Wario, and even Zombie Wario. End quote. This is an absolutely classic game, so if you haven't played it before, definitely play it now on Nintendo Switch. Next up, another Astro Bot DLC / update / whatever you want to call it was announced. This is coming from PlayStation Blog, quote, to start the year on a good note, we are delighted to announce new Astro Bot content is coming starting today. You might have noticed that a yet unreleased level of Astro Bot was featured at the PlayStation XP tournament final in London, England on January 18th. That very level, along with 4 additional ones, will be coming your way inside the brand new Vicious Void Galaxy starting today. As before, this new update is completely free of charge and a gift from us to you, the Astro Bot community. These 5 levels will appear on a weekly basis as follows. On February 13th, we have TikTok Shock. On February 20th, we have Thruster Bust. On February 27th, we have Cockadoodle Doom. On March 6th, we have Hard to Bear. And then on March 13th, we have Armored Hardcore. So a solid month of just, constant Astro Bot updates, 5 additional levels. And then at the bottom, they also go on to say, note, all Astro Bot updates from February 13th to March 13th will be available every Thursday at 6 AM PT, 2 PM GMT, and 10 PM JST. Unlike our last update, Winter Wonder, which was a walk through the Xmas Park, this new update features harder levels to test your jumping skills. Each level comes with a brand new special bot to rescue, and once that's done, can be replayed in time attack mode with online rankings. To access these, you will need to have completed the main game, so sharpen those skills again and let's get rescuing. But hold on, we still have more news. Alongside these 5 new levels, we are pleased to say that owners of the PS5 Pro will be able to enjoy an improved version of Astro Bot, featuring a constant best resolution while still running at 60 frames per second. That's about all for this update. We hope you enjoy it. We want to take this chance to thank you sincerely for the ongoing support. We could not be happier with the way Astro was welcomed into so many new homes. Your comments, positivity, and kind words have carried us through the months and continue to warm our little robotic hearts. Thank you for your loyalty, and we shall see you around. Team Asobi out. End quote. So normally I wouldn't, read like the end parts there, but that was a really sweet message, so I figured I'd include it. Regardless, this is quite unprecedented. We have an amazing single-player game continuing to get supported, almost like a live service, but not quite a live service, except all the content is free and there's no arbitrary monetization outside of just paying for the game itself. I mean, leave it to the folks over at Team Asobi, am I right? I mean, obviously, they're absolutely talented, and furthermore, they're clearly just passionate about making games, and the fact that Sony's been allowing them to just keep creating content for this game, almost like a live service, but again, there's no monetization, and it's just single player, free stuff, it's awesome. The DLCs have been awesome, the base game is awesome, and it totally deserved Game of the Year. It was my vote for Game of the Year, so I'm genuinely glad that it won last year, and I can't wait for the future of this game if they plan to release more DLCs as well as potential sequels. Next up, Football Manager 25 was cancelled. Now this is really interesting, because Football Manager, dude, they like never miss a game, but this one seems to have a bit of the troubled development behind it, we'll say. This coming from footballmanager.com. Quote, a message from Sports Interactive, an update on Football Manager 25. Sports Interactive regret to inform that, following extensive internal discussion and careful consideration with Sega, we have made the difficult decision to cancel Football Manager 25 and shift our focus to the next release. For the large numbers of you who pre-ordered FM25, we thank you enormously for your trust and support. We're very sorry to have let you down. Please see the FAQs on obtaining your refund. So, anybody that pre-ordered the game, don't worry, you will be getting a refund since the game literally won't be coming out. So, then they go on to say, we know this will come as a huge disappointment, especially given that the release date has already moved twice, and you have been eagerly anticipating the first gameplay reveal. We can only apologize for the time it has taken to communicate this decision due to stakeholder compliance, including legal and financial regulations. Today was the earliest date that we could issue this statement. We have always prided ourselves on delivering the best value for money games that bring you countless hours of enjoyment that feel worth every moment and every penny you spend. With the launch of FM25, we set out to create the biggest technical and visual advancement in the series for a generation, laying the building blocks for a new era. And then after that, there was multiple paragraphs that are just kind of explaining the development, and basically, there was a lot of turmoil behind the scenes, and it just seems like development wasn't going very smoothly on this, to say the very least. You know, especially considering the fact that pre-orders went up before they even showed any gameplay of the game, and at the bottom, they basically just go on to say that it wasn't a very pleasant experience for the player, which, you know, that's kind of a rough thing to have to say about your own game. Just, you know, the overarching player experience just really wasn't up to snuff with this one, unfortunately. So, then at the very end, they say, through the cancellation, every effort is now focused on ensuring that our next release achieves our goal and hits the quality level we all expect. We will update you on how we are progressing with that as soon as we are able to do so. Thank you for reading, your patience, and your continued support. Our full focus now returns to creating a new era for Football Manager from Sports Interactive. End quote. So again, just kind of wanted to highlight this one, because Football Manager, man, they never seem to miss a game, miss a year, you know what I mean? But alas, I guess this one was just really in that rough a shape. Honestly, this one is really surprising to me. This would almost be like if Madden or NBA would miss a year. So hopefully everything's worked out behind the scenes, because I know, you know, believe it or not, there's a lot of sports fans out there that play, you know, these sports video games, and they genuinely, like, purchase them year after year. It's one of those things where these games sell really well at first, and then by the end of the year, they're going for, like, $6. Like, I've literally seen, like, some of the recent NBAs going for, like, literally just dollars at GameStop, for example. Like, even Madden 23, I want to say, was at, like, down to $1.99 I saw on sale. But yeah, hopefully they can get everything sorted out behind the scenes over there, and I really do feel for the players, man. Even though it is a yearly franchise, it always sucks whenever a game that you're really looking forward to gets canceled, because I did see a lot of emotions, we'll say, in the comment sections of the trailers for Football Manager 25. So here's hoping they can, you know, maybe get a game out next year. Next up, just in case anybody was concerned, don't worry, Grand Theft Auto 6 still seems to be on track to be coming out in 2025. So, this coming from a Eurogamer quote, Rockstar Games' hugely anticipated GTA 6 is still on track to launch this fall. Publisher Take-Two Interactive has reiterated, despite persistent rumblings behind the scenes of a delay. Take-Two recommitted to its release window as part of its Q3 FY 2025 earnings report, writing, quote, this calendar year is shaping up to be one of the strongest ever for the company, as we plan to launch Civilization 7 on February 11th, Mafia: The Old Country in the summer, GTA 6 in the fall, and Borderlands 4. End quote. Now, we did learn via the recent PlayStation State of Play that Borderlands 4 is going to be coming out September, which means that GTA 6 is most definitely not coming out when, like, GTA 5 did, for example, because that came out in September back in 2013, which means, I mean, if they're still doing that in the fall, that would have to be, what, I'd say they'd want to have it be at least like a month away from Borderlands 4, because you don't want to drown out your own games as a publisher, especially with massive IPs like that. So we're probably looking late October to November. I don't think they would do this. I think December would be a terrible idea. I really think they should get the initial wave of games out and then get another booster shot after the launch at Christmas time. So I'm thinking probably late October to mid-November for this game. Late November at the absolute latest. But that's just a guess on my end. We don't have any actual confirmed dates at this time, but just considering how the other release dates are shaping up, That's all I can assume and speculate at this time. Next up, iicon was announced. This coming from Eurogamer. Quote, the ESA, the trade organization that represents video game developers and publishers that previously organized industry staple E3, has launched the Interactive Innovation Conference, aka iicon. The organizers say it is a first-of-its-kind event to connect visionaries, thought leaders, and innovators from across industries to harness the power of interactive entertainment. Set to take place in Las Vegas in April 2026, the event already has buy-in from a number of key industry companies, including Amazon Games, Disney, EA, Epic Games, Microsoft, Nintendo, Sony Interactive Entertainment, Square Enix, Take-Two, Ubisoft, and Warner Bros. Games. Quote, executive leaders from some of the video game industry's leading companies expressed enthusiasm for iicon as a key opportunity to drive innovation and foster collaboration across sectors, the ESA said. With iicon, we are creating a space for visionaries across industries to come together, connect, and reimagine what's possible through interactive entertainment, end quote. The iicon will be an invitation-only event held at the Fontainebleau. I'm just gonna spell it out for you because I don't know how to say it. So it's the word, it's Fountainebleau Resort in Las Vegas from 27th to the 30th of April 2026. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I got really excited when I first heard this because I thought it was gonna be like the next iteration of E3. I thought they were trying to bring it back with a new name, and no, it's not that. I mean, it's still a conference of sorts. They're still gonna be talking about video games and stuff, but definitely not going to be the same thing as E3. We still kind of got to look towards Summer Game Fest as like the replacement for that, or sort of like the fill-in for that. This is also only an invitation-only event, so we'll see. Maybe something cool will come out of this. Maybe we'll hear some sort of announcement. Maybe something will brew up here, but otherwise, it's cool. We'll keep our eye on it, see if anything happens from it, but yeah. Next up, Crytek has faced layoffs. This coming from Crytek on X. Quote, like so many of our peers, we aren't immune to the complex, unfavorable market dynamics that have hit our industry these past several years. It pains us greatly to share today that we must lay off an estimated 15% of our around 400 employees. The layoffs affect dev teams and shared services. This has not been an easy decision to make, as we deeply appreciate the hard work of our talented teams. After putting the development of the next Crysis game on hold in Q3 of 2024, we have been trying to shift developers over to Hunt Showdown 1896. While Hunt Showdown 1896 is still growing, Crytek cannot continue as before and remain financially sustainable. Even after ongoing efforts to reduce costs and cut operating expenses, we have determined that layoffs are inevitable to move forward. Crytek will offer affected employees severances packages and career assistance services. We firmly believe in the future of Crytek. With Hunt Showdown 1896, we have a very strong gaming service and remain fully committed to its operation. We will continue to expand and evolve Hunt Showdown 1896 with great content and drive our strategy for our engine, CryEngine. From Crytek, end quote. Yeah, I don't really know how to feel about this one, Chief. It seems like a lot of those expenses that were going into the live service game could have been used to keep the employees around to keep developing the next Crysis game. Hello, we haven't had a Crysis since Crysis 3. But at the same time, Hunt Showdown is a live service, which means that it is probably bringing in recurring revenue, which, you know, gives them more money to work with. So this is a really back and forth kind of thing for me. You know what I mean? Like, I really don't know how to feel about this. But I guess that's just the thing. It doesn't really matter how any of us feel about this because it's already been done. The employees have already been laid off. So all we can do is hope for the best for these employees and hope that things work out for Crytek, because, I mean, they're an amazing studio. I mean, they made the Crysis games, the CryEngine. Personally, I never really played Hunt Showdown, but I heard great things about it, so they're a great development studio, so I really do hope things work out for them. It's just, it's sad that so many studios, I mean, even the biggest companies are in this position where they need to lay off employees in order to stay financially stable, but this is just where we're at in the games industry, and thankfully the layoffs aren't as rapid as they were, say, earlier last year, which was just absolutely insane, but it's still occurring, so hopefully things can slow down with these layoffs. Obviously, layoffs will always be a thing in the industry, but I just don't like the rate at which it's happening. It's just so uncertain as a developer right now in the industry, and something really does need to change. Even though these companies are offering severance packages more often than not, you still shouldn't have to go to work every day wondering if it's going to be your last day. You know what I mean? Next up, Dino Patti has reacquired Jumpship. This coming from Dino Patti on X. Quote, oh, and also don't worry, at the end I'll talk about who this guy is and the company if you don't know who they are, and once I tell you who they are, you'll probably know then. But anyway, I sold my studio in 2022. Today, I got it back. Today marks a new chapter for Jumpship Studio. After Thunderful's acquisition in 2022 and recent changes, I've now reacquired the studio. Unfortunately, the company is now empty of employees, so the road ahead will be entirely different. But with every challenge comes an opportunity. It's always about moving forward with a bold and bright vision. The gaming industry needs fresh thinking, especially in how we treat our talent. So we're working on something different. 1, a completely new direction for Jumpship. 2, a bold reimagining of how talent can create and thrive, and 3, a vision where ambition and synergy with great talent unlock new possibilities. More details coming soon. One thing remains constant: our commitment to emotion-driven storytelling, gameplay, and innovation. P.S. Sometimes the best new beginnings come from unexpected but familiar places. Agree? End quote. So, for those that don't know, Dino Patti is the co-producer of games like Limbo, and he also worked on Somerville, which also happened to be Jumpship's debut title. So, if you didn't know who they were before, now you probably have at least seen those game titles before. This is a headline I just had to cover. I mean, I would have covered it regardless, but I just thought it was extra funny because he reacquired the studio, which is something we don't see too often. We've seen some things like Tango Gameworks, for example, kind of brought back from the dead once they were acquired from Krafton, but then you got situations like this where he sold the studio but then was able to reacquire it. Again, we usually just hear about a one-off acquisition, and that's that in the gaming industry. Unfortunately, it does seem like Jumpship's a bit of an empty studio at the moment, but I'm glad he got his studio back, and I'm excited for the future and whatever games they end up putting out next. And finally, I have a complete recap of everything that went down at the PlayStation State of Play from February 12th. So we're going to go over the game's name, if it has a release date, and then just kind of go from there. Alright? Alright. So the first game that was shown was Monster Hunter Wilds, where they showed off a pre-order bonus of a Guild Knight set and a mini art book. Also worth mentioning that Mizutsune will be the first free monster as part of the spring update. They then showed off Shinobi Art of Vengeance from the developers of Streets of Rage 4, and this will be releasing August 29th, 2025. Love to see a new Shinobi game, 2D, all of its glory. And they showed off Sonic Racing Cross Worlds. There will be a closed network test that will take place on February 21st. No release date at this time. Then we got a look at Digimon Story Time Stranger, which is releasing in 2025. We then got a look at Lost Soul Aside, releasing May 30th, 2025. We got another look at Like a Dragon Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii with a demo announced for the game, which is available now at the time you're watching this video. They then announced that Ichiban from Like a Dragon is coming to Dave the Diver. Ichiban's Holiday is coming this April. They then announced that a Splitgate 2 Alpha will be coming to PlayStation on February 27th. WWE 2K25 releasing May 14th. We then got a look at Borderlands 4, so excited for this one, with a release date of September 23rd, 2025, with a showcase of some kind happening for the game this spring. We got a new trailer for Split Fiction. We got a look at Directive 8020, which is releasing October 2nd, 2025. Pre-orders available in June. Five Nights at Freddy's Secret of the Mimic, releasing June 13th, 2025. Really excited for this one. The vibes were on point in that trailer. The Midnight Walk, releasing May 8th, 2025, with PSVR 2 support. Darwin's Paradox, no release date. Warriors Abyss, this game shadow drops, so you can go pick it up now. It's a roguelite isometric spin on the Warriors franchise. I love the Warriors games, so super excited to dive into this one. Animusha 2, Samurai's Destiny Remastered, will be releasing May 26, 2025. We then got another look at Animusha Way of the Sword, which will be releasing 2026. We got another trailer for Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater, which is a remake of the classic Metal Gear Solid 3. This will be releasing August 28th, 2025, and they also teased an Ape Escape crossover. Got a look at Hell Is Us, releasing September 4th, 2025. Lies of P DLC Overture, releasing in 2025. Summer 2025 specifically. Dreams of Another, releasing 2025. Days Gone Remastered. I was so happy to see this, man. Days Gone is it's just such an underrated game. I love Days Gone so much, so I was so happy to see this here. You can upgrade from the PS4 version on PS5 for $10, and the game will also be available on PC, and this will be releasing April 25th, 2025. Stellar Blade DLC is releasing in June, and they're going to be doing a crossover with Nikke, the mobile game. The PC version and DLC for this game will be releasing in June 2025. We then got some updates for the PS Plus catalog. During the show, they announced Star Wars Jedi Survivor, Top Spin 2K25, as well as Lost Records Bloom and Rage Tape 1 and 2. They also announced that a new game called Blueprints will be releasing day one on the service this spring, as well as Abiotic Factor, which will be launching this summer. They then went on to announce that Armored Core 1, Project Phantasma, and Master of Arena, so the PS1 Armored Core games, will launch soon into the premium service, as well as Patapon 3 coming to the Classics catalog with the February 18th update. Again, this wasn't everything that's going to be coming February 18th. They just kind of like announced some things here, but then some things were left out of the February 18th update. Kind of weird how they did it, kind of confusing, but it'll all be there at some point, right? If you want the full list of games coming to PS Plus on February 18th, but, you know, happened to just skip to this point in the show and didn't watch the segment from earlier where I went over it, we'll just go over it real quick. Star Wars Jedi Survivor, Top Spin 2K25, Lost Records Bloom and Rage, Saga Frontier Remastered, Somerville, 10 Hearts, Mordhau, those being the games in the extra tier, and then for premium we have Patapon 3 and Dropship United Peace Force. And then to wrap up the show, we have Tides of Annihilation, Metal Eden, releasing May 6, 2025, Mind's Eye, releasing summer 2025, and then finally we got a look, or a tease rather, at Saros. This game is developed by Housemarque, which I've gone on record many times talking about how much I love Housemarque. They are one of my favorite developers, just period. Love their games so much. This game will be releasing in 2026, and a gameplay trailer will be coming later this year. Easily one of my most hype announcements for the show, you know what I mean? Like, there was a lot of great stuff in this state of play, don't get me wrong. Love this state of play, it was fantastic, so many amazing games to get excited for, but man, seeing Housemarque making another game, oh man, you got me feeling some kind of way, that's all I'm gonna say. I'm so excited, but all around, great state of play, and even though otherwise it wasn't that eventful of a week in terms of gaming news, there was still a lot of fun stuff to talk about here, so I hope you guys are all informed and were hopefully entertained. But anyway, that is all the stories that I have for you guys this week, so now it's time for me to get out of here. If you want to catch new episodes of Weekly GCap, they go live every single Friday at 9 a.m. Eastern. I'd love to have you here, but anyways, that's it for me, guys. Thank you guys for watching. Have an amazing day and an amazing weekend. Stay beautiful. I love you all. Peace.